Another win for Tom Seaver, and an era had come to an end. In a few days, the Met ace would be packing his bags for the Reds country.
The particulars of what led to this separation from the Mets, we won't get into. But there was a dispute with the front office.
Yeah.
And you wind up being traded to Cincinnati while you are still one of the premier pitchers in the game. And it leads to this press conference. Take a look at this.
A great number of thrills, and they've been equally returned. And the ovation I got the other night.
You going to miss them, Tom?
Come on, George.
As far as the fans,
I know I said that.
I've given them a
Come
great
on,
number
George.
of
Yeah,
thrills,
it's Joe Durso.
and equally returned. And with the ovation they gave me the other night, after passing Sandy Koufax, that will be one of the most memorable and warm moments in my life.
So you said, come on, George, referring to yourself by your given name.
First name.
You know, what you were talking about earlier, after winning the World Series, the scene we just saw, unlikely to play out today. If a player's iconic, he's associated with the franchise, he likely has a no-trade clause.
Right.
And those who don't, even though they may prefer not to be traded, they haven't been around with the same group of guys, it's the nature of the game, for it to mean as much emotionally to leave. You were being separated from your family. Not just changing uniforms, separated from your baseball family.
Absolutely. From the city, everything.
So you go to Cincinnati.
I had a guy I had the ownership and Donald Grant. After Gil died, it changed tremendously. Gil would not let that stuff happen. You know, and I was my player rep. I represented my team in the labor negotiations, etc. And M. Donald Grant came to me during this period of time, right before I got traded, and looked at me and said, "What are you, some kind of communist?" So the love affair was a one-way street. And as soon as he said that, and then there were things before that, he said, "Who do you think you are joining the Greenwich Country Club?" I said, "Ooh, that's interesting."
Not too many communists at the Greenwich Country Club, by the way.
No, too, that's pretty interesting. So it began to die, you know. He rips part of your love for the game. And I shouldn't say that because you can't do that because I love the game. But the relationship that you have with an organization and a city and people. And it was time for me to go. It was time for me to go. Go on and it wasn't pretty. It was not pretty. It was not, you know, when you give your heart to somebody and then they, you know, rip it back out of it, you know, out of you. They just, you know, it was a lie. It was false. It was false. It was a false love affair. So,
but not with the fans.
Not with
the
the fans, and not with the game. Not with the teammates. Not the game. 3 out of 4 is pretty good. Not with it. It never affected me with my teammates and what I did for a living. My art form.